Are you being watched, tracked, analyzed not just for what you do, but for what you feel? We've all seen the headlines, felt the subtle shift towards constant surveillance. But what if I told you that the very government agencies sworn to protect you are developing the technology to not just see you, but to anticipate your thoughts, to predict your behavior, and ultimately, to control your future? Tonight, we pull back the curtain on DARPA's deep dive into biometric monitoring. A system designed to map your every physiological reaction, to quantify your emotional state, and potentially, to determine your place in a new, digitally enforced social hierarchy. Is America sleepwalking into a technocratic nightmare, mirroring the social credit system already in place in China? The evidence, as you're about to see, is chilling. Buckle up, because this one goes deep. It starts innocently enough. A broad agency announcement, or BAA, issued by DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. A call for proposals focused on biometric monitoring. Nothing immediately alarming, right? But dig deeper, and the details become unsettling. DARPA seeks technology that can remotely monitor a subject's vital signs, facial expressions, and even their gait, how they walk. All without direct contact. Think about that for a moment. Real-time, passive surveillance capable of detecting stress, anxiety, or even hostility before it manifests as an action. This isn't just about identifying terrorists in a crowded airport. It's about preemptively flagging individuals deemed a potential threat based on their biometric signature. A pre-crime unit straight out of science fiction, funded by your tax dollars. Is this a justifiable effort to improve national security or a dystopian step toward mass behavioral control? The rabbit hole gets much, much deeper. Now, let's talk about the actual technology involved. We're not talking about rudimentary heart rate monitors or clunky EEG headsets. DARPA is funding cutting-edge research into miniaturized sensors, advanced algorithms, and sophisticated AI that can interpret the data streams collected. This means developing wearables that can seamlessly blend into clothing or implantable devices capable of continuously monitoring physiological data. The goal? To create a comprehensive biometric profile of every individual, accessible through a centralized database. The potential applications are endless, but they are far from benevolent. Imagine insurance companies using this data to deny coverage, employers using it to screen potential hires, or law enforcement using it to identify suspects based on predicted behavior. This isn't speculation. The technology is being actively developed, and the infrastructure to implement it is quietly being laid. The pieces of the puzzle are snapping into place, creating a picture that should terrify anyone who values their freedom. Consider China's social credit system. While details vary depending on the region, the overarching principle remains the same. Citizens are assigned a score based on their behavior, financial history, and even their social connections. A low score can lead to restrictions on travel, employment, and access to essential services. Sounds far-fetched for America, right? But consider the parallels. Our credit scores already dictate our access to loans and mortgages. Facial recognition technology is becoming increasingly ubiquitous in public spaces. And now, DARPA is developing the technology to monitor our biometric data, potentially providing the ultimate tool for social engineering. A low biometric score, triggered by elevated stress levels or a disapproving facial expression, could trigger immediate consequences, subtly shaping behavior and enforcing conformity. Is this the future America is heading towards? A society where our emotions are monitored, our thoughts are policed, and our freedom is reduced to a digitally enforced algorithm. The most damning piece of evidence is often hidden in plain sight: the official DARPA solicitation document itself. Read it closely. Note the emphasis on continuous monitoring remote sensing, and predictive analysis. This isn't about curing diseases or enhancing athletic performance. It's about building a comprehensive surveillance system capable of quantifying human behavior and predicting future actions. But look deeper, beyond the tech speak. DARPA wants to anticipate civilian reactions in disaster situations, to head off so-called mass panic. Does this not suggest government readiness to take over our very individual emotional response to natural or geopolitical threats? And for what? To protect us, or, instead, to guarantee the response they themselves need? Ask yourself what the implications are if you are judged to be feeling the wrong way. Is this a benevolent desire to safeguard American lives or a cynical attempt to engineer obedience through technological intimidation? The lines are blurring, and the stakes have never been higher.
The Department of Defense prioritizes national security. DARPA's mission is to make pivotal investments in breakthrough technologies for national security. Research initiatives concerning biometric monitoring are undertaken with the objective of enhancing the capabilities of our armed forces and ensuring the safety of our citizens. Any application of these technologies would strictly adhere to existing legal and ethical frameworks, safeguarding the privacy and civil liberties of all individuals. Claims of these systems being applied towards a domestic, social credit system are without factual foundation.
Without factual foundation? They're laying the groundwork. They are developing the asterisk tools. And you are the frog, in slowly boiling water. So, what's the real agenda behind DARPA's biometric surveillance program? Is it truly about protecting us from threats, or is it about controlling us from the inside out? A technology which monitors your every emotion to predict your every move. Don't wait for the answers to come to you. Demand them. Do your research, connect the dots, and most importantly, join the Anomaly Ledger inner circle. Only then will you find out what's really going on. Subscribe now.